Мам, ну, как я сюда попала вообще? Это было нереально сюда попасть. Даже такое никогда бы не приснилось, чтобы сюда попасть. Только в сказке такое бывает. Только в сказке. Ты мне подарила сказку. Вот.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got an incredible story to share with you about a couple that honestly changed my perspective on love, family, and cross-cultural relationships. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let me tell you about this amazing journey that started in Ukraine and found its way to China. In October 2021, military tensions were escalating in eastern Ukraine. Wei Gu was really worried because his Ukrainian wife's family was still living there. For his mother-in-law's safety, he decided to bring her to China to live with them. When she arrived in China, she couldn't help but exclaim, "Is this heaven?" Let me back up a bit and tell you their story. Wei Gu was born in 1989 in rural Shanxi province. His family made a living growing grapes, which eventually allowed him and his siblings to move to bigger cities for work. He was actually a pretty good student and landed a job at a multinational company in Shanghai where he was totally in his element. His wife Alyona is 12 years younger than him and is a classic Ukrainian beauty. She's super talented at piano and absolutely loves traveling. Back in 2018, she took a trip to China and became really fascinated with the country. She started teaching herself Chinese and dreamed of finding a job here after graduation. Later on, Wei Gu ended up working in Ukraine. During some holiday event, he approached Alyona to ask for directions. He was struggling with his broken Russian, and you know what? This kind, understanding woman answered him in fluent Chinese. He was completely shocked and thrilled. He had been looking for someone to teach him Russian, so they exchanged contact information. One thing led to another. You know how it goes. Wei Gu fell head over heels for beautiful Alyona, and thankfully, she liked this Chinese guy too. But her family wasn't exactly thrilled about their relationship at first. Long-distance relationships are tough enough, but international ones? Even harder. Alyona was their only daughter, and they were understandably concerned about her marrying someone from another country. Wei Gu totally got where they were coming from. So he took his time explaining everything to them, showing them through both words and actions that he was serious about their daughter. He promised he could give Alyona a stable future. Fortunately, her family didn't make things difficult for them, and they soon officially registered their marriage in Ukraine. After they got married, they had their own baby and lived in absolute bliss. They stayed in Ukraine for about 2 years before returning to his hometown. Wei Gu's parents were so excited to meet their foreign daughter-in-law, and when they saw their beautiful granddaughter, they couldn't stop smiling. Alyona adapted really well to life in China. She became fluent in Chinese and quickly integrated into their family. Wei Gu started a small business, and their lives just kept getting better. During their downtime, Alyona would often think about her relatives back home. Then 2022 came around, and the Russia-Ukraine conflict broke out. The Ukrainian people were suffering terribly under the constant threat of war. Wei Gu immediately started making arrangements to bring his mother-in-law over to live with them because Ukraine just wasn't safe anymore. They were all worried sick about her. At first, she was hesitant about coming. She had never been to China before and wasn't sure what it would be like. You know, in some countries' media, China isn't always portrayed as the safest place. But for her safety, Alyona and Wei Gu quickly arranged her tickets and paperwork. Finally, she set aside her doubts and boarded the plane to China. As soon as she landed, she was completely shocked. China was even better than she had imagined. At the airport, she hugged her daughter and son-in-law tightly after being separated for so long. In the short video, you can see Wei Gu's mother-in-law looking at China's towering buildings and busy streets with tears in her eyes. She said, "How did I get here? Coming here feels so unreal to me. I couldn't even dream that I would end up here. This only happens in fairy tales. You've brought me to a fairy tale world." The shock and amazement in Wei Gu's mother-in-law's eyes reminded me of Li Hongzhang from the Qing dynasty when he first visited America and saw their automobiles and skyscrapers. That kind of mind-blowing experience, you know? On one side, a peaceful, prosperous city. On the other, her homeland ravaged by war. While experiencing this happiness, the elderly woman was filled with all kinds of emotions. And the kindness she felt in China completely broke down her emotional barriers. When Wei Gu's mother-in-law visited Hunan province and was admiring Chairman Mao's statue at Orange Isle, these super friendly ladies from Changsha warmly welcomed her as a foreign visitor. When they heard that both mother and daughter were from Ukraine, one of the ladies immediately went up and gave them a heartfelt hug.
握个手。你好，你哪里的？我是乌克兰的。哎呦，乌克兰的。对。
现在是中国媳妇儿，这个是我丈母娘。
谢谢，谢谢。
妈妈太感动了。
好，再见，再见，再见，再见。这叫人情，有人情味儿。
Receiving such care and encouragement from complete strangers in a foreign country brought Wei Gu's mother-in-law to tears instantly. Her heart was filled with gratitude and warmth. After their brief but amazing journey, Wei Gu's mother-in-law was about to meet her Chinese in-laws. They boarded a high-speed train to Shandong. Looking at the scenery flying past the window, she was once again amazed by China's speed. When she learned the train was going over 300 kilometers per hour, she said this trip would stay in her memory forever. When they arrived in Shandong, Wei Gu's grandparents were already waiting at the door to welcome them. They were worried his mother-in-law might feel uncomfortable in an unfamiliar family setting. His grandfather warmly told her, "Shandong is your home too. You can feel completely at ease here." They prepared local delicacies and chais, making her feel like she was back home. After dinner, Wei Gu's parents took their new in-law shopping for fabric to make her a qipao. The whole family had a great time exploring the local ancient town together. In the footage, you can see Wei Gu's Ukrainian mother-in-law's eyes practically glowing. Everything she experienced brought her joy and fascination. This place is so different from Ukraine right now. There's no warfare here. The economy is thriving and the scenery is beautiful. No wonder she said China is just like a fairy tale world. Ukraine, like China, is a developing country with various industries flourishing. But once war breaks out, people become displaced and the economy suffers devastating blows. China, however, is peaceful without any conflicts and people live and work happily. Compared to those still suffering from war, they are so